Above ground, Paris is one of the world's most ancient and amazing cities. It's a place known for food, culture, and amazing tourist attractions. The truth of what really lies under Paris will shock you. Just under the surface of this city of 2 million people lie the skeletons of 6 million of the city's dead. This is a city that has more miles of catacombs than it does subway tunnels.
So here's our next person.
In a way, you could say that there's more to Paris's underground than what's above it.
A lot of alcohol in it.
It's a city with a great subway system that has a total of 136 miles of track, all of it running just below the surface. What's even more amazing is the fact that Paris has more than 200 miles of tunnels, called Catacombs, running under the city streets that are literally lined with the bodies of the dead.
The camera goes in reverse. So we're standing here, took about 10 minutes of wandering around to find the catacombs, but we're basically here now, so navigating was confusing. But anyway, we're about to go inside the famous catacombs of Paris.
So, down we went. We went down this circular staircase that led us about 70 meters beneath the city streets.
This is us. I'm dizzy. Wow. This is cool. Wow. We're like 300 feet on the ground, I think they said. I think I'm dizzy. How about you? This is crazy. I sure don't got room for an elevator, I don't think.
And after what seemed like 10 minutes, we made it to the bottom and started the long walk towards the catacombs.
So these are the catacombs, and they're not very tall. Because I'm tall, I have to like bend over.
At least they have to protect the spring. I would put it back on.
Yeah, I know. It's just so hot, you know? Wow, I guess these are old mine shafts. And that's the ceiling. This stuff just gets smaller and smaller. Alright, now I can straighten up a touch. So anyway, so far it's just like walking down the tunnel. But I guess this is all bones going back to ancient Rome. I don't fully understand this part. Like what? I wonder if they used this during World War II.
The tunnel seemed to go for miles. Actually, it went for 1 mile. But I'm 2 meters tall, and I had to walk hunched over the whole time. So it was not the most comfortable thing for me.
The large one you gotta watch your head on. They're massive. I think one of the biggest things that you get from being down here is just how much there is.
But that's just the tip of what lies under the surface of this ancient city. The Paris catacombs are actually a network of old caves, quarries, and tunnels snaking hundreds of miles under the city's streets. Since 1955, the majority of this underground space has been off limits to the public. However, that hasn't stopped some thrill seekers from venturing into this little understood space. And what they did down there will shock you.
Those fragments, that's all bone dust in the air.
But more about that later. The Paris catacombs were originally limestone quarries, whose origins date back thousands of years to the time of the Romans. These mines provided the construction material of many of the city's older buildings. By the beginning of the 18th century, The city grew over the tops of this massive labyrinth. As the city grew, it ran out of burial space in the cemeteries. This caused some rather unpleasant and unsanitary problems with burying the dead. Simply put, the cemeteries were grossly overcrowded, giving rise to improper burials, open graves, and unearthed corpses. Understandably, people living close to such places began complaining about the strong smells of decomposing flesh. Finally, in 1786, authorities took action, and a nearby quarry was converted into the Paris Catacombs. It took decades for all the bones to be transferred from Les Innocents Cemetery and other surrounding burial grounds into the labyrinth that created the catacombs we know today. The catacombs have another function other than keeping rotting corpses from contaminating basements and causing bad odors and disease in the City of Light, and that is warfare. Understandably, the catacombs also served as a hiding place during World War II. Both the French resistance and Nazi forces built bunkers not far from one another inside this massive tunnel complex. Today, there is new life springing up inside these subterranean tunnels of the dead. Amazingly, there are those who routinely venture down into the forgotten parts of this city of the dead called cataphiles. They risk becoming lost or trapped just so they can film their experiences for social media.
Holy crap, yeah. Get ready to get wet, everybody.
Recently, The Guardian reported that 2 teenagers were rescued after being lost in the vast network for 3 days. They were found by rescue dogs and were taken to the hospital to be treated for hypothermia, a testament as to how dangerous this place can be.
That's scary.
Still, others, we might call artists, venture into these darkened spaces to create wondrous environments filled with decorative lighting and paintings. Some of the art is worthy of being in a museum.
Wow, that is nice. I got a classic, Quentin Tarantino, Pulp Fiction.
There is even an underground chapel carved into the limestone that built this city. So that's it. If you ever go here, keep all this in mind. And also keep in mind Paris is not the only city that has collections of human remains commonly called catacombs or ossuaries. Just last year, we got special access to film inside what is considered the weirdest collections of bones in the world, called Sedlick. A place even older than the catacombs of Paris.
After that was people
You can
really
find
wanted
that video
to
on my channel called Forgotten World. The catacombs of Paris are certainly not the only catacombs in the world. There are substantial ones in Italy, Poland, the Czech Republic, Russia, and parts of Asia. And those exist mainly due to burial practices from hundreds of years ago. Today's burial practices are considerably different. We no longer seem to hoard the bones of the dead. So, if you ever think of coming here to Paris Catacombs, think about the things you learned in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel, which is Forgotten World. Thanks for watching.
Sorry, I didn't mean to frighten you. I won't be seeing you much anymore.
What's been happening? Where's David? David, come up to bed.
And you stay right there where you belong.
Day he was just an average person. By night he was a maniac killer.